Martini Entertainment.
Hi, Steph.
Hello.
It's episode 231. It's our anniversary show, Steph.
Woo!
Before we get started, find a bunch of cool Foo Bar Show merch at foobarshow.com. Find tons of new merch items like totes, travel mugs, magnets, baby onesies, and t-shirts in tons of new colors and styles. Go to our merch page found at foobarshow.com to check that all out. Also, click on the link for SoCal rock band The Fallen Electric at the bottom of foobarshow.com for music and merch. On Friday, May 28th, The Fallen Electric is releasing their new single, Move to the Sound, which we'll be playing on today's music highlights. Add The Fallen Electric to your Spotify or Apple Music playlist today. And lastly, ALF Live Events, man. Whether you'd like to host your next virtual event, or you'd like to go live, in person, or given the times, Foos, in a socially responsible manner, ALF can help you do it right. They pride themselves in being masters of audio, visual, and lighting solutions. Most recently, Foos, they've become masters of virtual events and meetings, partnering with their clients to produce live events in a socially safe environment. Go to alflei.com to get their contact information. They can be contacted via phone call or email for any questions on how they can help you produce a flawless event. That's ALF Live Events at alflei.com. That's alflei.com. And now, without further ado, Steph, episode 231, here we go. From Filthy Martini Studios in Ontario, California, it's the Foo Bar Show! Hey, what is up, everyone? I am Joe C. Thank y'all very much for listening into the Foo Bar Show. Thanks for hitting subscribe, and remember to rate, review, and tell your friends like a champ. You can always get in touch with us and get our merch at foobarshow.com. That's FOObarshow.com, and search FOO Bar Show on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out, drop us a line, and we'll foo it up like a couple of foos. Ain't that right, Steph?
That's right.
Yeah.
Get my happy guy. Oh, just a happy guy. Oh, just a look at that, the happy dog. Oh, just a happy dog.
It's our anniversary show, Steph. Yeah, 3 years, man. We're into our 4th year now. Just because, that's been a thing that we've been talking about not knowing how to clearly represent what the hell kind of chronological order we're doing this thing in. So we're in season 4.
Season 4.
But we're in we just finished year 3 going into year 4.
Yes. That
Right.
makes sense.
So 3 years ago, we started doing this thing out of the dumpy little office in West Covina, California. We started out with the Foo, some douche named David, and myself. And then down the line, David, he tapered off. The Foo also took a long kind of, what would you call it, a hiatus from this show.
He went on sabbatical.
You went on sabbatical.
He went back to Foodtopia for
and
a
then,
while.
And then we invited Josh to be on the show. And then you slowly kind of just shoehorned your way into the show a health correspondent.
Yes. And I was invited back. So I didn't really shoehorn myself in. You guys needed some questions that needed to be answered.
We needed a female perspective. I don't think anybody regrets that.
Well, when I could get a word in.
Whatever. Anywho, so we're going on to year 4 of this stupid podcast, and thank you everybody for listening. Those that tune in regularly, we see the stats; they grow every week. If you're telling your friends, you're the freaking best. And yeah, I don't know what else to say to that. I mean, just like anything else in the Foo Bar Show, this particular celebration is also very, very unceremonious. This is all you're getting, really. And it's not even going to be the usual 2.5 hour show. We'll see. But I doubt it.
Right.
Because we don't have Josh here to talk our ears off.
You're getting a Steph episode.
You're getting a Steph episode, everybody. I mean,
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Foos, for being around.
Yeah. And the Foo still isn't here. And we're going to take next week off for Memorial Day. Just like we didn't even do that in the first year. I think we did like a bonus one because we were going to take that day off, and then we're just like, let's just put together a 30-minute thing.
Yeah.
Not this year.
Nope.
We're going to Big Bear, Steph and I, and we're just gonna go have a gay old time with some family and friends. So
Yeah, finally able to see them now that we're all vaxxed.
and yeah, no kidding. And then the Foo is probably just wetting his pants, just anticipating that new baby that's on the way. So
Any minute now.
any minute now, he's like it's like that I Love Lucy episode where Lucy's about to give birth and just Ricky's just pulling out his hair throughout the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. And then, it still takes like 3 weeks.
Yeah. And now, I guess when the water breaks, they're just gonna make him go boil some water, right? And did we ever figure out? Or you had a hypothesis, or do you know this for sure? Why did they tell the men to go boil some water?
To give them something to do. Like, honestly, they never come back with boiling water.
Because they were freaked out about the baby.
Yeah, it gives them something to do. Why don't you go boil some water?
Yeah.
They don't. First of all,
Well, don't you need
let's
that for the towels? Like you actually do need the boiling water, right? Or warm water
to sterilize the towel. But most likely the midwife will already have that prepped.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because then if the dad's doing something, and he actually is responsible for doing it, there's too many cooks in the kitchen, so they just tell him to boil water, get him out of the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Comes back when the baby's born. Then they all smoke cigars and congratulate each other.
Yeah. And
in front of the baby.
and try to raise a kid. Yeah, man. And then Josh, I think, has to work overtime, so he just can't make it today. But anyway, we're gonna try to make this happen for y'all today for this anniversary special. And I just figured I wanted to hand out a citizen, a Foo citizen of the day to the nice lady sitting right next to me, Steph. Because I got a story to tell that has to do with the Fallen Electric. Because we played a show on Friday the 21st over in Huntington Beach at the oldest bar in Huntington Beach called Perks. That's Perqs. And we played there before, but of course with the pandemic being the way it was, we weren't able to play really any venues for a very long time. This is the first time we play a venue since COVID hit, and so we thought we double checked everything. It was what we call in the band, we idiot check everything to make sure that that the van was loaded, that we had all our equipment in there, and lo and behold, we're unpacking, we think we have everything set up, and then all of a sudden we're like, where's the PA system?
Wasn't there some homeless guy that was trying to help you out?
He wasn't homeless, I don't think. He was just a really drunk old dude that was in the bar. And he's like, I'm a drummer. And he's just being all loud and belligerent. And he's like, you guys need help with anything? We're like, whatever. Yeah, sure. Here, go carry this. And we just gave him like the simple things. And all of a sudden, we're almost done. And then he disappears. So we think nothing of it. It's like, he's just drunk. He helped us bring in a few things, whatever. We bring in a bunch of stuff into the venue. And then lo and behold, our PA's missing. The first thought that came into our head was, oh shit, the old guy fucking jacked us. And we're like, no, we probably just forgot to put it in the van. Fingers crossed. I call Steph. I can tell Steph was tired from a long day's work.
I worked overtime.
And it looked like you just got out of the shower because I put you on FaceTime for a second because you were in here because this is where we were rehearsing for a while.
Yeah.
And we're like, Steph, please tell me the PA is in Filthy Martini Studios. And what happened there, Steph?
And I knew exactly where to look.
Yeah.
It was hidden right behind one of our chairs here. All I had to do was swivel it away, and there it was, the PA system. And I'm just like, I was trying to describe it to you, and you still weren't figuring out what I was trying to tell you. So you FaceTimed me, and I showed it to you, and you're like, God damn it, it's at my house.
Yep. And Steph was a freaking trooper and brought it all the way down to Huntington Beach. And I thought you were at least going to, throw on some pants and get ready to at least join the crowd. And no, you're like, I'm getting the fuck out of here as soon as I'm dropping this thing off.
Dude, I was tired. Like, I had gotten ready in my pajamas when you called. I'm just like, I'm going to eat this pizza that I bought, and I'm going to knock out. I couldn't do that.
And I gave you an instant 2-hour chore. It was a 2-hour round trip, right? It was an hour to get to Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
And probably like another hour or so to get back.
Just over an hour to get back. because there was some construction on the freeway. Whatever. It's expected.
Yeah, thanks for doing that, Steph.
You're welcome.
The band threw you some gas money.
Much needed gas money.
And so we couldn't have done it without you because it would have been it would have been a 2-hour round trip for one of the band members to go out. So we were only 1 hour late to playing the show, which sucks, but it had to be done. And we just rolled through the entire 4-hour set list. It was crazy, man. It was a great time, though. Everybody who showed up, if you listen to this show, we appreciate the hell out of you because that place was packed that entire night. And the 1 hour, because we started an hour late, that entire hour, I was just like, what the hell? Go, hurry up and start. And we just had to explain to everybody that our PA was not present.
Oh, yeah. Huntington Beach, it's like the pandemic never happened.
It's like they don't even, it's like nothing happened. There's
people everywhere, no masks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like if you take a look at any other beach ever during the pandemic, it doesn't exist. The pandemic never existed.
Yeah, and I think now, the capacity has been a little relaxed too. I mean, they were keeping an eye out on capacity. You would never be able to tell. But, I mean, the people they weren't crammed in like sardines like I remember that place could potentially be. But it was a great time, man. The people would just fill the entire room and they were dancing and cheering and singing along. It was awesome. Even to our own songs. I was like, oh, shit. Like, people even know our own songs. So people have had a year and a half or so to just start hankering for some live music, and they got it yesterday. And I couldn't be happier with the way it went, despite the fact that we started an hour late. But I believe we made up for it if you were there.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys had a good time. It's about time that, you start playing shows again, get out of the house.
Yeah.
And, I mean, with more people being vaccinated, more protection, tensions are easing up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been a
time.
while. It's about time. But we look forward to playing more shows, and we have a single coming up that's going to be released Friday, May 28th. So we're going to be playing our single "Move to the Sound" during the music highlights. So stick around for that. But you just want to get into the geeking out there, Steph?
Sure.
All right, everybody, stick around for Geeking Out.
Okay, nerds, let's go.
Geeking Out is brought to us by Geek Yogurt. 3D print a health snack with Geek Yogurt. Yeah.
It's made with real cream.
I don't know. I have no clue. But I wanted to start geeking out today with a just like a little homage to Paul Mooney. He was one of the greats in stand-up comedy. He was a pioneer. He was one of the guys who even helped Richard Pryor in his early days when Paul Mooney was a writer on SNL. He really pushed to get a black host early on in SNL history. And so in season 1, if you guys go back and watch season 1, you can easily find it on YouTube these days. Even Richard Pryor being one of those hosts in the first season, there was a skit that everybody still talks about to this day. A skit where it's Chevy Chase and Richard Pryor going back and forth, where it turns into like a race relations kind of argument, but it's supposed to be a word association game because Richard Pryor's character is going in for a job interview, and Chevy Chase's character is pretty much doing the interview, and they do this word association thing, and then at a certain point, Chevy Chase drops the N-word, and Richard Pryor says, dead honky. And then that was the punchline to the whole thing. Paul Mooney wrote that sketch. And Lorne Michaels didn't want to really use that kind of thing. But he's just like, dude, you need this kind of cutting edge type of comedy. Back in the 70s, that was live TV. And, the N-word was thrown around more than it was today. So it probably wasn't a big deal. You probably wouldn't be able to do that sketch today. They still show it. Sometimes they bleep it out. Sometimes they don't. But I think it's good to understand where we're coming from when we're talking about Paul Mooney. He grew up like very kind of, I don't want to say poor, but he grew up in what we call a ghetto these days, and he made his way up to Hollywood when he grew up after he graduated college. knowing that he was a humorist. He was a stand-up comedian, and he went to Hollywood, and that's where he got his stardom into being a writer. And then he got his job over in SNL back over in New York. My generation learned about Paul Mooney through the Dave Chappelle Show. And he did Negro Damas on the Dave Chappelle Show, and he also did a segment called Ask a Black Dude. So I want to just play this. This clip is just a little over 2 minutes of the very first Ask a Black Dude segment on the Chappelle Show. So check this out.
You know, I'm glad to see that there's so many different kinds of people here. You guys can't see it at home. At home, in the wide shot, it just looks like a bunch of black people. But it's not. It's a patchwork, a multi-ethnic, multicultural patchwork. Now, America is the same way. And I know a lot of you white people at home might have had a feeling like you have questions for your black friends that you want to ask them, but you're afraid to ask. You don't want to alienate yourself or maybe get beat the fuck up. Well, I want to promote conversation and dialogue, so I went on the streets and gave people the opportunity to ask all the questions that made them so curious. And I got comedian Paul Mooney to answer these questions for him. If you don't know Paul Mooney, he was a writer for Richard Pryor for many years, and some say one of the best comedians working today. Well, one thing's for damn sure, he's an unofficial sociologist. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Ask a Black Dude.
Can black guys jump high?
Yeah, black people can jump high. You gotta jump. Gotta do something when you're running from the police.
I ask you, why you walk like this, huh? Almost all you black guy, why?
Why you act like Black people walk like that because we have style, we got flavor, we got rhythm. I mean, the black man in America is the most copied man on this planet, bar none. Everybody want to be a nigga, but nobody want to be a nigga. How about that question? Cal Channing just admitted she was a nigga. The rest of them need to break down and admit it too.
Yeah, why we black people like to smoke so much weed? Can you tell me why?
Well, I have a question for that nigga. Well, where are your teeth, nigga? Black people just like to party. They have that in their blood. And sometimes they can go overboard, and it's real sad. And don't ask me about drugs. Ask Whitney and Bobby. Don't ask me.
So that was Paul Mooney, and he always has something to say about, you know, society, the race relations between white and black people, and then just where the black man stands in history. He always had something funny to say about everything, and he's going to be missed. One of the greatest comedians to ever walk the earth. And his bits, you know, I was trying to do this retrospective about him, and it's really hard to give you like a 2-minute snapshot of Paul Mooney stand-up because he's the kind of comedian that tells stories. And that's how he goes through his act telling these long stories with a bunch of jokes kind of sprinkled in. So it's not like a setup punchline like most comedians tend to do. So it was really hard to find something like that. And I figured my generation, at least me personally, learned about Paul Mooney through Dave Chappelle's show. So let me go ahead and remind everybody where he comes from and you know his way of putting something together that's incredibly hilarious. So anyway, R.I.P. Paul Mooney. We lost you this week, and he's not going to be missed by any stretch of the imagination. He's going to live on through other comedians that he inspired, like Chappelle, which is, by the way, one of the best comedians of all time. So anyway, how did you learn about Paul Mooney there, Steph? Did you learn about him just like me through the Chappelle show?
Through the Chappelle show.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that about Richard Pryor and how he used to write for Richard Pryor. So I was interested to find out more of what he did, you know, in his early career, as opposed to what's just on the Chappelle show. So he was a great influence to comedians. Yeah.
So anyway, he's gonna be missed, and I let's see, he passed away May 19th, 2021, so just a few days ago. And yeah, but there was a bunch of other comedians talking about him: Eddie Murphy, Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish. They all attended a tribute at the Laugh Factory here in LA. And they, TMZ was of course outside asking them all kinds of questions. So, it was a hard day in comedy, but there's no other way to pay respect to an awesome guy like that than just to go do comedy. And I'm sure there was a lot of talk about that in that room.
Of course.
So,
yeah.
Anywho, moving on to something a little bit more lighter here. Moving over to talking about some Star Wars news and some speculation. One thing that I was curious about knowing is the Rangers of the New Republic. We had talked about Rangers of the New Republic before on the podcast, but after the whole Gina Carano's firing, we didn't know if that was going to impact it. We had even asked ourselves here in the podcast, well, what's going to happen? Because we figured that Gina Carano was going to be one of those Rangers of the New Republic, because at the end of season 2, right, she's a Ranger. And also with Timothy Oliphant's character, also he's kind of like a self-appointed Ranger of his own town. So we figured, these guys going to be the Rangers, or are they just going to be completely different? So I found this article on Den of Geek, and it says that when Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy announced the future of Star Wars live-action TV universe on Disney+, she named several new series spinning out of The Mandalorian. A series called Ahsoka would pick up where the Jedi's cameo in season 2 of Mando left off as she continued her search for the Grand Admiral Thrawn. The Book of Boba Fett would follow the further adventures of the franchise's foremost bounty hunter and the assassin Fennec Shan, Ming-Na Wen. And then there's the more mysteriously titled Rangers of the New Republic, a series that's up to this point we know very little about beyond the rumors that we've heard in the media. So Kennedy described the Rangers of the New Republic last December's Disney Investors Day event that it would tie into the other shows, all of which would converge into a big crossover event. But who would star on the show and what would it be about? It remains the questions. A lot of the reports pointed that Gina Carano, the actor who played the mercenary Cara Dune in the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, and was recently fired from the franchise after becoming a subject of several online controversies. With her out, some Star Wars fans wondered what would even be like the Rangers of the New Republic. So one of the new reports from Variety seems to provide at least a temporary answer. The Rangers of the New Republic is not currently in active development, so it's still kind of a ways from now. It probably won't come out for another couple years. Many are saying that it probably won't come out until Ahsoka comes out too. I think they want to maybe either release them together or like one right next to the other. So while other corners of the internet have been quick to assume that this report from Variety means that the Rangers of the New Republic has been scrapped entirely, it's not in active development can also mean that the series just isn't being worked on at the moment. So with a full slate of those other shows like The Bad Batch, The Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, Lando, The Acolyte, and a few other Disney Plus shows, it's not unreasonable to assume that Lucasfilm is simply prioritizing other projects first before diving into the Rangers, which has no release date at the time of this particular announcement, at least.
They have so many projects to work on.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if they just put it on the back burner for now.
And I think they need to figure out who's going to replace Cara Dune's character, because she was a big part in the first 2 seasons of Mando.
Right. She did help them, get some missions done and everything like that. But I don't know how the Rangers are going to go. I don't think they necessarily need her character specifically.
It would have been nice if she didn't fuck that up and then she could be a part of that.
Yeah, the continuity would be nice. But if they introduced a new character entirely or expanded Timothy Oliphant's character, then
that'd be dope.
That would be a good second.
Timothy Oliphant can hold a role, a lead role for sure. Yeah. He was in that show that with Drew Barrymore recently, right?
The Santa Clarita Diet.
Yeah,
he's one of the greatest actors of our generation.
Oh, so it's not?
No, I said one
James
of
Franco.
No, I said
anymore?
one of the.
James Franco is kind of falling off.
James, if you only look at his professional career, he is the greatest actor of our generation. Personal life aside.
He's a piece of crap, apparently.
Yes.
Seth Rogen doesn't want to work with him anymore, so yeah.
But
And
professionally speaking,
Right.
greatest actor ever.
he's a great actor. James Franco's a great actor. He's kind of a scumbag, though, when it comes to hitting on 17-year-old girls.
It's a thin line.
Mm-hmm.
Very thin line.
Yeah. Well, it's obvious now that Carano's not going to be a part of that, and
Right.
and it should be said that, or at least acknowledge that, at least the Rangers of the New Republic shouldn't just be focused on one Ranger either. If anything, it's going to be, in my opinion, it's probably going to be something like the Bad Batch, where it's a group of people, of Rangers.
Right.
Well,
I mean, it's plural in the title, Rangers.
Yeah, exactly. So to think that,
I don't know if they're going to start morphing or not.
Shut up, dude. Shut up.
Will they have their own colors? God damn it. Will they combine their powers? These are questions that we need answered.
Right. A statement from Lucasfilm to IGN about Filoni's new role also suggests that the producer's slate of upcoming projects, including Rangers of the New Republic, hasn't changed. So Dave has been serving as executive producer, executive creative director at Lucasfilm for quite some time now, and we simply updated our website. Nothing has changed with his current and future projects. He's busier than ever in a galaxy far, far away. So currently he's working on The Bad Batch, and he's just got to take it a step at a time, I guess. And by then, I'm sure that they'll have enough material coming out of Mando Season 3 to explain probably what happened to Cara Dune, who else might replace her as another character, because it did say in an earlier article months ago that they were going to replace her, but not like replace her. It's just going to be another character that's going to kind of be taking that place.
They won't recast her. They will change the character.
And they'll probably just make her fall out of a cliff or something. I don't know.
Or she got reassigned to another planet.
There you go. Easy peasy.
Easy right off. You're
Lemon
welcome,
squeezy.
Disney.
Yeah.
I will take a piece of that cut.
Yeah. And so, we'll see what happens. And, it's funny. We're talking about Cara Dune. We actually have the action figure for Cara Dune, which I'm sure years from now will be worth something.
Oh, do you want to see? Let me look it up. Let me see how much it is.
Are you going to look it up on eBay or something?
Yeah.
Because we got this when Mando Season 2 was going along, and before she started mouthing off all over the internet, with her anti-mask and probably anti-vax rhetoric, which got her in a lot of trouble, even after they asked her to stop multiple times. And then, she fell from grace, but we're not going to throw this thing away if it's worth something in a few years. So what are you finding so far there, Steph?
It's still loading.
Okay.
I'm not on the 5G with the rest of the world. Sadly.
Yeah. Nothing. It's worth nothing. Because they're not selling it anymore, right? They stopped all the action figure production for that.
Right. Is it on eBay?
That's where I would have checked first, Steph.
Well, look, I just did a general Google search, which usually gives me what I want.
Uh-huh.
And now it's not loading.
Awesome. Riveting stuff there, Steph. Well, I'm sure it's still worth $19.99. Well, how'd you get your hands on this thing? Was it a gift or what?
My brother Benson.
Mm-hmm.
He is the toy connoisseur.
Mm-hmm.
And he gifted me this Cara Dune. It was nice.
Right.
Usually, he will go shopping for the Target exclusives, or even Walmart. Not Walmart. Walgreens or Rite Aid will have exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll go around his neighborhood looking for these toys, Star Wars toys, even Avengers toys. And he found the Cara Dune one. It was the last one there.
Yeah. And so rather than just wait for you and your bullshit Google search.
Oh, shit. I
found that, let's see, Hasbro, Star Wars, the Black Series 6-inch Cara Dune action figure 101 is $139.49. And so probably going to be
I went
worth
down
more than
then.
that. Did you see it for more?
When there was talks of her getting fired,
Mm-hmm.
it was upwards of $3,000.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we really dropped the ball on that one.
You should have sold it then and there. Well, we'll give it some time.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll say something else that's pretty shitty, and it'll make the price go back up.
Right?
Come on, Cara. That's not her name.
No.
Anyway, so Gina Carano. Anyway, you wanted to talk about something, Steph.
Yes. Our local anime convention, Animanga, is happening in the Ontario Convention Center from July 30 through August 1st. So the last weekend of July, first weekend of August. And you know, I'm ready. I'm ready for a convention. You know, I'm ready to get back out there.
Yeah, because Comic-Con was pushed to next year, right?
San Diego Comic-Con was pushed until 2022.
They're still doing a virtual version, right?
Yeah. There was a microcon that just happened for LA Comic-Con.
That's right.
So that was a 2-day online event. But they're still having LA Comic-Con this December. You can buy tickets for. Still at the LA Convention Center. San Diego Comic-Con, like we said, got pushed to 2022. Mm-hmm. And Animanga is probably the first convention that we're going to go to since pandemic. And that will be in July, August. And I can't wait.
Yeah, Animanga. So this was going to be about like anime.
Anime, they usually have guests for the dubbed version
Mm-hmm.
of animes. The whole guest list isn't quite out yet. I know there's some, but more will be added closer.
Well,
yeah.
A lot of anime has been making their way into the mainstream, of course, with like Attack on Titan. What's that? Demon Slayer is huge. It got like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, at least the movie that Josh talked about last week. 100% Rotten Tomatoes, and I think 100% on both the audience and the critics. So it's an awesome movie based on what everybody's saying. I haven't seen it yet. I'm still trying to get around to watching whatever seasons they have out. Do they only have the one season so far?
It's only one season so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
26 episodes.
So it's a long season.
Yeah.
How many? How long are the episodes again?
They're only
half
like
hour?
30 minutes.
Okay.
Less than 30 minutes.
All right.
And the movie is supposed to bridge season 1 to season 2.
Okay.
So you really need to see season 1.
Yeah, before I watch the movie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are we going to Animanga?
Yeah, we're going to go.
That's the plan, right?
We are
When is it
going
again?
to go July 30 through August 1st.
All right.
So I requested a press pass. Animanga.
Yeah.
Please respond.
Tight. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to that, and we'll probably do a Foos on the Run. We'll put something together and report from there. So stay tuned for that, everybody. And we'll see what happens. Do you have anything else you want to talk about for Geeking Out? It's a light episode, but we just didn't want to not have an episode because it's the anniversary.
It's Geeking Out Light.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. Everybody stick around for the joint report.
Nerd! Are you on weed? Give me some. I'll smoke you two under the table.
The Joint Report is brought to us by Tokemon. Follow Ash Ketchum on his new quest to smoke every plant type of Pokemon. Gotta smoke them all.
So is this Tokemon just a bong?
Yeah. Yes, let's go with that.
Just a bong.
Yeah, why not?
This is the first Pokemon that you can put your mouth on.
You can put your mouth on all the Pokemon, Steph.
Oh, that's gross.
I didn't say it was a good thing. But I could just imagine him with like Charizard trying to just, after he beats, like an Ivysaur, he just starts smoking him.
So Chari, come over here.
Yeah.
Come over here. Put your tail right here.
We called him Zippo, right? That's what he named his Charizard.
Zippo?
Yeah, I think. I could be completely wrong. Anyway, no, I think that might have been one of the side characters. Anyway, we're moving away from the joint report. What I wanted to talk about is something awesome that the DEA finally ended. They ended the Fed monopoly on swaggy research grade cannabis. And then I got this off of Leafly.com. Haven't reported from Leafly in such a long time, but they so it says right here, late last week, the U.S. DEA quietly made an announcement that's expected to have a profound and long-lasting impact on cannabis research and development in the U.S. They said that it was nearing the end of its review of certain marijuana grower applications, therefore allowing it to soon register additional entities authorized to produce marijuana for research purposes. What this means is that for the longest time, for decades, they were using just swag. just rags. Just the crappy weed that you got back in the 60s and 70s with all the stems and the seeds. They weren't using pretty much the weed that the rest of the world is using to enjoy either medically or on a recreational basis. So this has been going on since 1968. There's several reasons why it's a big deal. Since 1968, the only federally approved supplier of cannabis for research purposes in the U.S. has been a 12-acre farm run by the National Center for the Development of Natural Products at the University of Mississippi. That production has been exclusively for the National Institute of Drug Abuse, NIDA, which maintains control over the production and distribution of research-grade cannabis in the U.S. So, it probably wouldn't have been so bad if this farm just grew really good freaking weed. But over the years, the Mississippi Weed Farm has earned a notorious reputation for growing some of the worst cannabis in the world.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, it doesn't even look green. It looks like it's burnt, turning yellow.
Yeah.
It looks like just straw.
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
Yeah. The poor quality and low potency of the government-grown cannabis has been an ongoing issue for the research going on in the U.S. The inadequacy of NIDA cannabis has led to some high-profile academic disputes, lawsuits, and national headlines, as well as well-founded accusations that the DEA was dragging its feet on the issue. In 2017, Rick Doblin, founder and executive director of the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, also known as MAPS, declared that NIDA was completely inadequate as a source of marijuana for the drug development research. For years, NIDA and the DEA have promised to open up the sourcing of federally approved research cannabis, but nothing happens. And finally, on May 14th, that all changed, and now they're going to be sourcing for other ways to get better cannabis that looks like the cannabis that everybody else smokes all around the world, which is a monumental step because up until now, biotech firms and other private companies had few, if any, options for federally legal cannabis for research and development. This monumental step from the DEA means that the BRC can now position itself as that all-in-one source for reliable and safe research and cultivation. A lot of the peer-reviewed studies that we were learning about as far as cannabis goes that were reliable were coming out of Canada, Switzerland, Italy, Israel. Really nothing reliable coming out of the U.S., and I think this is really going to change the game for us because this is how the U.S. is going to learn more about the applications of cannabis and how we can use it to treat ailments that we have or just to get fucking high. Really, really, really high.
Yeah. Hopefully more research, more products, more, better quality, better community.
Mm-hmm.
It's about time they got their shit together. 1968? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's been so backwards. It's been so backwards. And go figure it's fucking Mississippi. But anyway, last thing I wanted to talk about on the Joint Report was Delta 8. Delta 8 may sound familiar to some, but not really to anybody else because Delta 8 has really not been talked about in cannabis. Delta 8 is a cannabis compound that has become popular because of its similarity to THC, the main compound in cannabis that gets you high, causing euphoria, happiness, sedation, symptom relief, and much, much more. Large amounts of THC are found in a majority of cannabis strains, but we are talking about THC, but when we talk about THC, it's known as Delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol. That's what we know as THC, Delta 9. Delta 8 is short for Delta 8 tetrahydrocannabinol. So when we talk about THC, we're talking about Delta 9. I'll be referring, to not confuse anybody, I'll be referring to Delta 8 as such so that it doesn't confuse one or the other. But Delta 8 and Delta 9 are both forms of THC, just so everybody knows. In common usage, when people refer to THC, they're talking about Delta 9, like I just said. Currently, the legality of Delta 8 is hazy. It can be extracted from either the hemp or the cannabis plant. Because of the 2018 Farm Bill, hemp can be legally grown and used for extractions all over the U.S., making Delta 8 legal in states where Delta 9 THC is illegal sometimes. Depends on what where they get it from. Are they getting it from the hemp, or are they getting it from the cannabis leaf? Nearly all Delta 8 THC on the market today is manufactured from hemp-derived CBD, which makes it, in theory at least, a part of a federally legal chain of origin. People in states where THC is illegal crave cannabis products and are now looking for Delta 8 because it may be legal in their state, even though it is less potent than the regular THC. Many extractors are ramping up Delta 8 production to meet this new demand and shipping it all over the U.S. So it could be a loophole where the legality doesn't yet exist in your state if you live in one of those states, which I believe one of those states is Texas. I don't think that they've legalized it yet. Have they? What do you know about that?
Texas, no.
Yeah, it's still illegal out there. So, but because CBD is federally legal, they might that'll be the loophole that they used.
Right, because all the literature says Delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol.
Yeah, THC. So Delta 8 versus Delta 9 THC. What is the actual difference? So Delta 8, like regular THC, binds to the body's endocannabinoid system, which causes you to feel high. Chemically, Delta 8 and THC are similar in that they both have a double bond in their structures. This double bond is thought to produce the intoxicating effects that make you feel high. The two THCs are chemically different in the placement of the double bond. Both cannabinoids have a chain of carbon atoms, but Delta 8 has the double bond of the 8th carbon, whereas Delta 9 has it on the 9th. Delta 8 binds to the endocannabinoid system in a slightly different fashion because of the location of its double bond. This is what is thought to make Delta 8 much less potent than the regular THC. However, more research needs to be done, of course, on this Delta 8 and how it can interact with the body. So the main question is, will it actually get you high? What it says here on the article is that it will get you high, albeit not as high as the regular THC, the Delta 9 that we know and love. For those living in states where cannabis is illegal, it might be the only way to get legally high or experience some kind of THC-like effects from the cannabis. Consumers report many of the same effects as THC, such as mild euphoria, happiness. So by all accounts, it's kind of like THC light.
Right.
You know? And
they give you a lot of chemistry in that previous paragraph. Did you understand anything that you were
I did actually.
Okay.
If you know, I mean, you just got to look at the, even if you pull up a visual kind of thing of the Delta 8 and Delta 9, that the bond is happening on either the 8th or the 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why they call it what they call it. Look it up.
All right. I'm just asking.
So, because they have to extract it, how do you actually consume it? How do you dose it? So, for most people, especially moderate or experienced consumers, Delta 8 will feel much weaker than THC, like we've been saying. But if you're new to cannabis, that Delta 8 could be that it will affect you pretty strongly. It just depends on your body chemistry. So, to give you a sense of Delta 8's potency relative to THC, Delta 8 edible producers commonly measure and dose their gummies at more than twice the strength of THC gummies. So how do you dose it? Obviously through edibles. You know, they put it in... the edible industry has really come a long way. I have personally been taking these tabs. They look like little pills, and you just take them, and 20 to 40 minutes later, you're feeling the effects. And they're about at 25 milligrams per pill. When talking about this particular article, looks like when packaging Delta 8, they're using a lot of gummies. And most of those gummies are at 25 milligrams per gummy. So it's a very similar effect. But
would you say that gummies would be like the go-to edible or like the most commonly bought edible, which is why they focus more on gummies than
I think
other food products?
I think because a lot of vitamins, even adult vitamins, are now going towards gummies. I think that's the logic behind it. That, you know, if people are taking their vitamins in gummy form, which is, you know, it has a little sugar to it, it's sweet, why not put THC, CBD, this Delta 8 compound in there? Okay. I would say it's probably the most popular way to do it. And it doesn't have to be a gummy bear. You know, you got all kinds of gummies. Like the Foo back in the day would purchase the gummy worms. Also those ropes.
The peach rings.
The peach rings.
I remember
that's right.
those.
Yeah, all those things were strong. Yeah, I think those were, when he bought them, they were like 100 milligrams per ring. And they would fuck you up.
Yeah, and you guys would finish it.
Yeah, we would. It was a great
one day.
But it's important to note that very little research has been done on Delta 8. So we don't know much about how strong the effects are, how it affects the body. Just like any cannabis product, the chemical profile of the cannabis, your body's chemistry, your tolerance level, your set and setting, and the amount you take all affect how you will feel. So we'll learn about it more as it goes, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing it in more products, especially in states where, like I said, THC isn't legal. Which hopefully that changes nationwide. Probably not. I think I called it in the last episode. Probably not this decade. And I know we're just getting into this decade. But it will definitely happen in our lifetime. I'm pretty confident that it will.
So when they package it, they're going to let you know that it's Delta 8 versus Delta 9?
Yeah, and at least any reputable, legitimate company will tell you what you're about to consume. They're doing it now with THC. They're telling you if it's how much THC, how much CBD, what percentage of that, how many milligrams it's got. It's getting more and more legit as we go. And so I see Delta 8 being no different. It's going to tell you on the label, assuming you're getting it from a reliable source.
Right. Okay.
So, but yeah, everybody, I guess, be on the lookout for Delta 8 coming out on the shelves more and more as we continue to research it. And also considering that the DEA lifted that ban on us being able to get our source of researchable cannabis from that stupid 12-acre farm in Mississippi. So
Mississippi.
Of all states, right? But anyway, that's going to do it for the Joint Report. Everybody stick around for the music highlights.
Smoke weed every day. I said a hip. I wanna rock.
The music highlights is brought to us by the new album by The Hammers. It's a real banger. No. Anyway, Steph, on tap today on the music highlight. Shut up. If you didn't know, like I mentioned at the top of the show here, The Fallen Electric is coming out with new music, a new single that's going to be dropped on Friday, May 28th.
What's coming out?
Our single called Move to the Sound.
When?
May 28th, Friday. Midnight. Add it to your Spotify or Apple Music. It's probably one of the jams that I'm most proud of that we've put together. It doesn't really sound, I mean, you've heard the song. It doesn't really sound like all the other ones that we put out, like Only UIC, Listen, Midnight Drive. They all kind of sound a little different from each other anyway. But this one, I would say when we were writing it, we were listening to a lot of AC/DC, a lot of Jet, a lot of Southern blues, rock influenced music.
Now that you say Jet, I can hear Jet.
It's in there.
That song.
Yeah. And it's a freaking jam. I really wanted to have those components in there while still making it sound like us. And I think we were pretty successful in doing it. So everybody go to thefallenelectric.com to check out any of our shows coming up, because we're definitely going to be playing this banger in those upcoming shows. So here it is. Move to the Sound, dropping Friday, May 28th. Check this out.
As it shows, I
Move to the Sound, man. So that's going to be coming out this Friday, May 28th, Steph.
Tight.
Yeah, add it to your Spotify or Apple Music. We're excited to release this. It's a freaking jam. And moving on. But yeah, guy's a legend, man. And, towards the end of his life, he had a really strong bond with Chester Bennington, who also died of the same way. There's some conspiracies out there that because they were partnering up to make a documentary targeting the worldwide problem of pedophilia and things like that they were targeted. But the both of them had years and years of a lot of just problems and demons that and who knows, the conspiracy could have something to it. But what we know about them is that they had mental health issues. They were taking a lot of medication for it. And Chris Cornell's wife recalls that last phone call that they had before he played his last show. And she says or reports that he just sounded off. Like he was off his meds or something like that. And it wasn't the Chris Cornell that she knows when she talks to him on the phone while he's on tour. Of course, later on that night, he took his own life, and which is tragic. But it really puts everything into perspective about how like you can appear to be happy-go-lucky, but you may have all these demons in you that really get to you and eventually cause you to take your own life like that. So it's the mental health issue that we all struggle with in this country and all throughout the world.
Well, I think some of that can be, internal, demon battles can be reflected in his songwriting.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's you can see some of the darker lyrics throughout his entire career, and so not just necessarily at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he's missed. That one hit me like a ton of bricks when I found out that he had passed away. That one, Scott Weiland really hit me when he passed.
Yeah.
There's just great artists that died way too early. So, anyway, I think that's gonna do it for the music highlights. You want to add anything else to that, man? Steph?
We all just got to look out for each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Check up on each other.
Yep.
It's the best we can do.
Yeah, it's the best we can do. And then, of course, there's always help. Just go get help.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's going to do it for the music highlights. Everybody stick around for Foo Facts. And Steph, Foo Facts. You want to know who they're brought to us by today?
Oh, I can't wait.
Coffee filters. Starbucks' new line of face masks.
Coffee filter.
For coughing. Anyway, let me prepare the Foo Facts here.
They're just coming out with that now.
Yeah, a little late, right? All right, let's see. Foo Facts. Foo Fact the first. Thanks to 3D printing, NASA can basically email tools to astronauts. Foo Facts. Foo Facts. Getting new equipment to the space station used to take months or years, but the new technology means the tools are ready within hours.
Yeah, they have a 3D
sense.
printer up there. So just send over the schematics.
Yep.
Can't find my screwdriver. Let's just print another one.
Just email me a screwdriver, please. You want to do some Foo Facts?
Let's see. What do we got here? Fact. What? Only a quarter of the Sahara Desert is sandy?
Foo Facts. Foo Facts.
Most of it is covered in gravel, though it also contains mountains and oases. Oases? Oases. Oh, and it's what? I can't even read today.
Words.
Oh, and it isn't the world's largest desert. Antarctica is.
Yes. Thank you, Steph. Fucking.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Anyway. Let's see. Fact. Bananas grow upside down. Foo Facts. Foo Facts. Or technically, we peel them upside down. These random facts will have you eating fruit differently. Naturally, they grow outward from their stems, but that means their bottoms actually face the sky. As they get bigger, the fruits turn toward the sun, forming the distinctive curve. So that's why they curve. Mm-hmm. At least the genetically modified ones that we all buy at the stores.
Right. Those are way too big.
Real bananas don't look like, that moon shape.
No.
That crescent moon shape.
They look like little nubs.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like little plantains. Anyway, let's see here. You want to do another one here?
All right. Let me try to read this one
actually,
properly.
Would you try to read, please?
I will try my hardest. There were active volcanoes on the moon when dinosaurs were alive.
Foo Facts. Foo Facts.
Most of the volcanoes probably stopped 1 billion years ago, but NASA findings have suggested there might still have been active lava flow 100 million years ago when dinosaurs were still roaming.
So you think that maybe like if there was like lava flow on the moon that you would see like the red on the moon? That'd be dope.
Yeah.
You'd have a blood red moon pretty much regularly.
Yeah, which would affect the
Tides?
The tides, because the Earth and the moon are tidally locked. So if the moon's pretty active, it wouldn't. I don't know. Would it? I don't think it would have a.
It has the same mass, so maybe not so much on the tides.
Yeah.
If the mass remained the same, but it was getting beaten down by asteroids, I'm sure.
Well, so was the Earth.
Yeah, that's what knocked out the dinos.
Yeah, and apparently that extinction event lasted a long time. I don't. It wasn't like an instantaneous.
Yeah. It was like a
one
weather
event.
shift.
Yeah.
Everybody froze to death.
Yeah, it was a slow and painful process.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Avocados were named after reproductive organs. Foo Facts. Foo Facts. Indigenous people of Mexico and Central America used the Nahuatl word aguacatl to mean both testicles and avocado. The fruits were originally marketed as alligator pears in the United States until the current name stuck.
Alligator pears, huh?
Yeah, probably alligator balls.
Have you ever seen an alligator with balls?
No.
I don't think they dangle outside the body.
What else you got?
That's sponsored content.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Keep scrolling.
Oh, here's a good one.
The word fizzle started as a type of fart.
Foo Facts. Foo Facts.
In the 1400s, it meant to break a wind quietly, according to the English Oxford Living Dictionaries. Just fizzled.
Is that when you have like a silent squeaker or something, or like silent but deadly? That's how our dog Taz farts.
Until he, gives us a raspberry fart.
Right. Gross. Let's see here. You only have 2 body parts that never stop growing. Foo Facts. Foo Facts. Human noses and ears keep getting bigger even when the rest of the body's growth has come to a halt. I've heard that before. I've heard that nails and hair does that too, but I think that's been debunked.
Oh.
Yeah. Like even after death, they keep growing, but that's not true.
No, it's not true because it looks like they're growing, but the skin just pulls back.
Right.
So it makes it appear longer.
Yeah, like it grew.
All right, moving on. No number before 1,000 contains the letter A.
Foo Facts. Foo Facts.
Some of these fun facts will have you counting, but there are plenty of E, I, O, U, and Y's.
That's true. I'm thinking about it, and none of them have A.
Nope.
What's that all about, eh?
I don't know. It depends on what language you're speaking, though.
Yeah. Let's see. The hashtag symbol isn't officially called a hashtag or pound. Foo Facts. Foo Facts. Its technical name is octothorpe. The octo means 8 to refer to its 8 points. Though reports disagree on where Thorpe came from. Some claim that it was named after Olympian Jim Thorpe, while others argue that it was just a nonsense suffix.
I feel like we've done this before.
Yeah?
That sounds very familiar.
Nope. All right, we'll bring it home with a couple more. Mm-hmm. What do you got?
H&M actually does stand for something.
Foo Facts. Foo Facts.
This is one of the random facts you've probably never thought about before. The clothing retail shop was originally called Hens, Swedish for hers, before acquiring the hunting and fishing equipment brand Maurits Woodfors. Eventually, Hens and Maurits was shortened to H&M.
All right. Well, we'll do one more here. Theodore Roosevelt had a pet hyena. Foo Facts. Foo Facts. Its name was Bill and was a present from the Ethiopian emperor. Roosevelt was famous for his many pets, including a one-legged rooster, a badger, a pony, and a small bear.
A one-legged rooster?
Yeah.
What was his name? Hopalong?
Sure. Yeah. One-legged cock.
One-legged cock.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was a successful short episode for our anniversary. Would you say there, Steph?
Did he have a leg to stand on?
Are you still on the rooster?
I am curious about this rooster.
Are you going to look up his name?
No.
Okay, good. Well, yeah. Next week we're off. We're going to be putting a best of, if I can find any best ofs that we've done since the last best of, and then we'll be back in June with hopefully the Foos will be able to join us, and of course we'll still be waiting for the Foos baby to arrive. So I don't know, he's going to be in and out. Just count on him not being here.
How do Footopian babies are they birthed? Is there an egg involved?
I think they're birthed.
So there's no hatching.
There's no hatching. It's based on what the food tells me. Yeah. Well, I mean, he impregnated a human lady.
Oh.
So, you know.
Okay. So it's being birthed.
Unless it's like a chest burster and it's going to really.
Oh, shit.
It's going to fuck her up.
Wow. That's going to spread real quick.
Yeah.
So we got the flamethrower.
We do
just
have a
in
flamethrower.
case.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm not getting onto that spaceship.
Godspeed, Foo. Godspeed. We hope everything is well.
Yes.
By all accounts, Jackie's doing well. So we hope the best. We can't wait to meet little. We won't say the name of the baby, but the little one. We can't wait to meet the little one.
Little Footopian.
And Josh, the only thing that you're going to be birthing is poop on toilet. So have fun with that, Josh. We'll see you in a couple weeks as well as everybody else. And until then. Thank y'all very much for listening into the Foo Bar Show. Thanks for hitting subscribe, and remember to rate, review, and tell your friends like a freaking champion. You can always get in touch with us and get our merch at foobarshow.com. That's FOObarshow.com, and search FOO Bar Show on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out, drop us a line, and we'll fill it up like a couple of Foos. I've been Josie.
And Steph.
Signing off, saying...